American tennis veterans weigh in on Novak Djokovic's Wimbledon 2025 title hopes. It's been a long time. As Novak Djokovic prepares for his 20th Wimbledon appearance, former American tennis pros share their insights on whether the 24-time Grand Slam champion can add another title to his legendary career. As Wimbledon 2025 approaches, the tennis world is once again turning its gaze toward Novak Djokovic. With 24 Grand Slam titles under his belt and 7 Wimbledon crowns, the Serbian icon remains one of the sport's most enduring and formidable figures. However, questions linger. Can Djokovic, now deeper into his 30s and facing fierce competition, reclaim glory on the grass courts of London? Several American tennis veterans have stepped in with their insights, offering both optimism and caution as they assess the 37-year-old's chances at what could be a defining chapter of his storied career. Novak Djokovic's 2025 season so far: solid, but not supreme. Djokovic began his 2025 Grand Slam journey strongly, making headlines with a 4-set victory over Carlos Alcaraz at the Australian Open before injury forced him to retire in the semi-finals against Alexander Zverev. He bounced back in Paris with a composed run to the semi-finals of the French Open, including a notable win over Zverev. However, he fell short against Jannik Sinner in yet another high-stakes match. Now, with Wimbledon looming, Novak Djokovic is aiming to push beyond those semi-final barriers and capture an 8th title at SW19, an achievement that would tie Roger Federer's record for the most men's singles titles at the All-England Club. Isner and Querrey back Djokovic, with caveats. On a recent episode of the Nothing Major podcast, former top American pros John Isner and Sam Querrey offered their take on Djokovic's prospects at Wimbledon 2025. "I'm not trying to have a hot take," said Isner. "Djokovic, as we know, doesn't play grass-court warm-up events. He might play one of those exhibitions. It's been a long time since he's played a couple of weeks preceding Wimbledon. But he has a lot of matches in his system, he's there practicing, I think he can get it done." Querrey suggested the 2025 tournament may carry deeper emotional stakes for the Serbian great. "Djokovic might be looking at this in his head, thinking this is the last chance for me to win a major, this is the one," he speculated. "That's what I think, his focus, he's always crazy focused, but I think this is the one. That's why I'm going with Novak, I think he's dialed." Though initially skeptical, Querrey ultimately shifted his prediction from Carlos Alcaraz to Novak Djokovic, citing the Serb's unmatched mental tenacity and big match experience. Sinner, Alcaraz, or the field? While Isner and Querrey include Djokovic among their top 3 contenders, fellow American Steve Johnson remains unconvinced. "On the men's side, it's so boring, Carlos," said Johnson, referencing Alcaraz's recent dominance. "Winning it 3 times in a row is going to be hard, but his record on grass is insane." Johnson added that Djokovic's path to the trophy could hinge on the draw. "Novak needs to not play Sinner or Alcaraz in the quarters, that's a massive factor." In the same tournament, can he go back-to-back beating Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner? Isner responded optimistically, "I think he could, it'd be a tough task." But Querrey was less confident, "I don't think he can." One last hurrah, or one more statement. With debate swirling and predictions shifting, one thing is clear: Novak Djokovic still commands attention and respect. Whether Wimbledon 2025 marks the twilight of his Grand Slam dominance or another shining chapter in his remarkable career, the tennis world, and his former rivals, will be watching closely.